videos back to Friday. Hopefully I can keep up with that. It's been a few hectic weeks. I'm getting a lot of work from university, so I might be a bit more absent. I am trying to record. For example, I had this video recorded for last week, but I had no time to do the voiceover and the editing on time. So I decided I'm gonna try to move videos to Fridays because that way I have a week to work on it, even if it's in small portions. It's getting hard because it's that time of the uni period where I'm having a lot of assignments, and therefore, not for now exactly, but I have to work on all of them at the same time, so it's a lot of pressure, and I don't have time either to create art to record. And also, I'm keeping up with the blog. You might have heard me talking about it in the last few videos. I have a new blog. It's called Confessions of an Art Addict, and it's gonna be listed down below if you want to check it out. And last week I wrote a blog post about my 100 somethings project. I wanted to do this video to complement it, but I didn't have time, so I'm recording it later anyway, because I think it's still relevant, and I can link back to the blog post if you want to read more about it, and it's gonna be below too. So if you've seen some of my videos, you might have seen that I started the 100 somethings project about a year ago, I think. A bit more than a year ago, I believe. And the 100 somethings project, I'm just gonna quickly explain it, is a project created by Jake Barker, and it consists of drawing 100 characters of a certain theme. This is supposed to be a challenge for you to develop your character design and creativity. So I think that maybe I went a bit overboard last time, and that was because you're supposed to put on some constraints for you. You're supposed to pick up a character that's wide but not too wide. Something in the middle, so you have some constraints but not that much. You're supposed to pick something maybe that you're not comfortable working with, so it represents more of a challenge and things like that. You're supposed to put on yourself some constraints, so after this project you have something you've worked on and overcome a couple of things. My problem was, and I've realized that some time ago, that I put myself up to too many constraints. Some of them it's fine, but sometimes it gets too much. So back when I started, I did around 2 illustrations, and then I realized that I wasn't happy with what I was getting, and I wasn't really comfortable working with the things I was working, and maybe that was not the proper thing to try it on, because it was limiting my creativity to work on 100 designs of something. I chose back then to work on nowadays young witches because I'm most comfortable with working with females and female bodies, so that was not a constraint, and I'm keeping that for this time, this redo. Then I wanted to do full illustrations, working with backgrounds and all of that, because I'm bad at that. I can think of a character, but it's hard for me to put it up in a background, so that was a huge constraint for me. And then I planned to work with a pencil brush pen, which I had just bought and I was really uncomfortable with at the time, so I wanted to practice that, which was fine. And then I wanted to paint the illustrations with black ink only, and I have never before that time worked with black ink only to create monochrome paintings. So for me, the combination of both was really hard. The pencil brush pen, the black ink, and it wasn't creating the illustrations I had in mind back then, because the problem is I had a real clear version of what I had in my mind. I wanted like clean line work and really clean illustrations, and I wasn't getting that because I wasn't good at any of it. Not the backgrounds, not the black ink, and not the pen. So I'm changing all of that. I'm keeping the theme, the nowadays young witches, for me this is a bit of a constraint too, because I'm not very much in the witchy world and I don't know that much about things about witches. Of course I can draw you a typical witch, but I want to go a bit more in depth about it. So back then I created a Pinterest board that, thank God, I kept on filling with inspiring witchy images. So even though I didn't continue it, apart from those two illustrations, I do have that full Pinterest board. I can now keep looking at it and keep adding at it, and that's a good source of inspiration I didn't have back then. Then I am going to be working with liners, but just normal fine liners, because I want to create a clean style of line work. So I'm keeping out the pencil brush pen because I had some time to practice with it, and I know that the look I have in my mind is not something I can achieve with that pen. And I'm getting out the black ink because I had time enough to practice it this past Inktober, and it doesn't contribute either with this project in my favorite list. I'm also getting out the full illustrations. I want to work on getting my backgrounds better and my compositions better, but for this time I'm going to try and focus to get a better composition, a better design and look of the characters. I will maybe add some backgrounds to some of them, but I'm focusing on the characters because that's what this challenge is about. I'm still working on practicing backgrounds, but in other projects and other things like that. And well, I think I also have to stop underestimating all the work that goes into designing 100 some things. Because I thought at the time, like, yeah, well, this is a long project, it's gonna take me like a year. And no, it's not gonna take you a year. It's gonna take you way longer because you will have to add it to all the other projects you have on YouTube channel and the blog and everything else. I have a lot on my plate. I have uni, I have all of these projects and more. And I know this is not like my number one focus. This is something I want to have there and I want to work with, but it's not something I'm going to finish in a couple of months. So I know it's a long-term project and I'm okay with that. And I know that it might take me 2-3 years to complete. It's fine as long as I keep working on it once in a while. If I get stuck and I want to get out of it for a couple of months, then I go back, it's totally fine. And right now I have that clear. Back then I didn't. That did frustrate me more back in the day, to not do what I was supposed to do. I've got 100 page sketchbook, which I'm gonna be using, is the one you're seeing me using in this one, because you will be seeing the first 2 witches I've done for this project. I'm happy because I already did 2 and I already have 1 more sketched out that I have to transfer and work on it. The process this time is going to be a little different. I'm going to try to brainstorm on digital because right now I'm quite comfortable with quickly doing some doodles and put some ideas into pages digital way, in a digital way. So I'm gonna be creating the sketches in digital and working with ideas and stuff, and then I'm gonna pick the ones I like the most and transfer them to the sketchbook I have, and then I just have to work on the line work, which is the part you're seeing me doing right now in the background. I think this will help me getting the clean line work I want without messing up the pages, because the paper in the sketchbook is quite thin, and this will also help me brainstorm faster, and I think it will work just fine. And yeah, basically that's all. I just wanted to add one last thing, is that for me, I believe that it's important that this time I added an additional thing to this, and it is that I'm gonna try to get something out of this project. Creating something like a product or something you can get something back from a project sometimes helps you putting more effort and focus on it. So I know I'm gonna learn a lot from designing 100 witches that I barely have drawn any witches in my life. I mean, maybe 2 or something like that. Right now I'm about to design 100, so that's already a big challenge, and I'm gonna learn from that a lot. But also I want to get something physical, a product or something somehow rewarding out of it. So I thought that maybe I could do some coloring pages out of it in little packs, or maybe if I really like some of them, put them in a coloring book or something like that. That will be really fun. And if not, I can always take the line work, sketch the ones I like, and paint them later, either in digital or print them out and paint them with all the mediums or stuff like that. So I can get something out also from this, which is I'm drawing, and not only the satisfaction, which is quite a lot, of drawing 100 witches. So that was all. I hope you enjoyed seeing the process. I really like the second witch. I think this one is gonna go much better than the one before. I have thought long about it for this last year, and I think I have it under control right now because I'm taking it with a lot of patience and a lot of love. And that's all. I'm really hoping you will follow the process of this 100 witches with me. I will be posting them on my Instagram, that will be linked up below, and I will probably post some of them around here too. And I hope you liked this video, you like to see the process of me designing this too, witches. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!